Welcome everyone to join our second workshop of our Plug and Play Deeptech program. And today we are very happy to have Motoki-san. So Motoki-san is the CEO of Escola 101, and he's specializing in the executive advisory, agency service, and investment support. And I want to highlight here that because during the intake interview, we have received a lot of requests from all of you that for our best startups this time, a lot of you are targeting at Japanese market. So we wanted to have this chance to have Motoki-san, who is the expert of bridging both sides. So because Motoki-san is actually now located in Taiwan, but he has a lot of experiences in Japan as well. So he understands both sides. I think that's a really rare, special like skill set to have. So we are really happy to have him here. And without further ado, I will just give the floor to you, Motoki-san.
Thank you very much. So can I share my slide?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's loading. Yeah, we can see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much for having me. I think most of you have visited Japan multiple times, and I think last year alone, I think some of you may visit Japan twice or three times, four times. So I believe all of you know Japan very well. But I hope that today's session is useful for you. I'm going to discuss 10 proven insights to succeed in the Japanese market. My name is again Motoki Gotanda. People call me Moto in Taiwan. It's easier to remember. And I'm from Escola 101. And let me quickly introduce myself. I am from Japan and I'm born and raised in Japan. And because of international marriage, I have relocated to Taiwan. And I have been in Taiwan, I think, for around 14 years by now. And right now I'm based in Taipei. And in my career in Japan, I had been a BD manager for 5 foreign firms in Japan. And in my previous career in Taiwan, I had been CEO of Japan-Taiwan joint venture, of which a Japanese side is the Tokyo Stock Exchange Prime Division listed company. And in 2024, 2 years ago, I founded Escola 101, 가우디론 구흥요신 공司. The purpose of the company is to boost the business relations between Taiwan and Japan. And I have BA from Keio University and MBA from ISADE Business School, Barcelona, Spain. And I have extensive experience in the BD for foreign firms in the Japanese market, such as Cisco, Acton, Salesforce, Silk Road, or Huawei. All I have worked for. And some of them American company, and some of them Chinese company, and some of them Taiwanese company. So I know the difference of the company's culture. And also some of them back then I worked for was just a startup. And some of them are mid-size already in the Japanese market. Some of them are large-size company. So in my experience, I learned what worked well and what didn't work well for the foreign company in Japan. And I hope that my experience is useful to you guys. Okay, so Escola 101, we do cross-border social business to and from Japan. So basically, mostly between Japan and Taiwan, but not only for Japan and Taiwan, but also globally to Japan. And we provide agency, consultancy, and investment service to our client. And this is the method of our business. The first, we identified Japan's cross-border business opportunity, then add value and drive success together with customers. Okay. Okay, so now Japan. Again, I believe you know Japan very well. And I heard some of you already have a Japanese customer, so that's great. But just a little bit recap the basic information. The population of Japan is 123 million people meaning 5 times of Taiwan, and the GDP of Japan is 4 trillion US dollar, meaning also 5 times of Japan. Japan GDP is fourth or fifth in the world after USA is number one, and second China, then Germany, and India and Japan are competing for the fourth place right now. So anyway, this is also a market cap ranking in the world. Japan still position number 3 in the world. So anyway, Japan is a huge market with the high volume of the population. Japan is also a homogeneous market. So in Taiwan, not only Mandarin, but also Taiwanese, Hakka, and even English are spoken among elite professionals. Whereas in Japan, I think in my experience, almost only Japanese are spoken among the population. Major city in Japan is centered around the Tokyo area. So surprisingly, 77 million people are living in the greater Tokyo area. So which is more, the population is more than the Taiwan total population is living in Tokyo area. That's surprising. Yes. So Japan is, because of this homogeneity, once you enter Japanese market, for me, I think it's easier to expand, easier to scale in this market. There is first key market for Japan, but is and was a key market for the global brand, such as for Nike. Nike literally started from Japan. They started their business as a distributor of Onitsuka Tiger, Japanese shoes, into the US market. Now Nike become global well-known brand. Microsoft once claimed 40% of their revenue come from Japan, and LINE is a Korean company. They had a huge competition in the Korea, and they moved to Japan and successful, and now globally. And not only business, but also musician. Their success actually, they are gone global actually after following the success in the Japanese market. So Japan, I believe, offer a great market opportunity for you. But there are important aspects that need careful consideration, such as GDP growth. This is the comparison of the GDP growth between Japan and Japan and the USA. Red represent Japan and green represent the United States. As you can find, Japanese GDP underperformed USA for a long time. Actually, in the past 3 decades, Japanese economy has not grown really much. And it was called lost decade, and it called lost 2 decades. Now we are calling it lost 3 decades. So like my generation, the people under 50 years old, we have never experienced that the economy is good in my working career in Japan. Population, this is the population by age group. As you can see, total population is decreasing in Taiwan, in Japan, and especially working age, middle working age, and children. This age group is shrinking very severely. Because of that, market in total is not really growing or somehow shrinking. And there is a labor shortage, is a problem of the labor shortage in Japan. And wealth index, if you compare GDP per capita between Japan and Taiwan, Taiwan for the first time in history in 2024 surpassed Japan in terms of GDP per capita. So now we can say that Taiwan is more wealthier than Taiwan. So internationality, can you guess what number are they? They are 60% Taiwan and 70% Japan. This is a passport possession rate. So 60% of Japanese own, Taiwanese own passport, whereas only 70% of Japanese own a passport. And 6 million out of 23 million Taiwanese have visited Japan last year alone, whereas only 1.3 million Japanese out of 123 million have visited Taiwan last year. So Japanese usually don't have passport and don't go out. So we are pretty much isolated culture, and that makes us very conservative and unique in the market, in the global market. In summary, Japan presents a huge market, but the economy has not grown much. Japan is easy to expand because of the homogeneity, but because of the conservativity, it is difficult to enter. I think that represents Japanese characteristic. Now, I would like to discuss with you 10 tips for entering Japanese market. And I hope that is useful for you. So first one is perfect localization. So this is Taiwanese company's history translated into Japanese. So I basically copy and change a little bit of the noun or something. How many errors can you spot from here? I think they look very good, actually. They look very, very good. But in reality, for Japanese, it only takes seconds to understand something wrong with here. Like here, using Chinese word and maybe sentence and some noun and font. Many places are strange for the Japanese. So Japanese in general are really less tolerant to the linguistic error because of our unique culture. So please never underestimate the importance of the Japanese language. So word, grammar, consistency, and font are all important to the Japanese market. For that, please ensure that localization is made by native Japanese speaker who also understand the market very well. It's counterintuitive, but in my experience, a level of Japanese localization of Taiwanese company is less than that of American. It's strange because many Taiwanese actually speak very good Japanese, but why American company do better than Taiwanese company? In my experience, observation, Japanese company because American company because they don't speak Japanese, so they ask expert outsource company to do the translation, or they ask the Japanese employee to do the translation. Instead, Taiwanese company, you rely on the Taiwanese employee who speak Japanese, and of course, native speaker translate better than the Taiwanese translator. So be sure to ask Japanese to localize your product. And the localization is not only language, but also everything ranging from product, distribution, price, and business model, marketing, organization, all has to be localized. And one of the most successful foreign company who is succeeded in the Japanese market is without doubt the McDonald's or McDonald in Japanese. Yes. McDonald's Japan started in 1971 as a joint venture between McDonald's USA and the Japanese company who is led by the Mr. Fujita. And Mr. Fujita, from the beginning, totally localized the business, McDonald's business into Japanese way. So make sure that the localization is has to be done so that the Japanese can be, feel relevant to their to them. Okay. The second is differentiate yourself from a Japanese competitor. So I have many opportunity actually have listened to startup pitch and talking about their strategy in the Japanese market. And oftentimes people say they don't have similar product or technology in Japanese market, so it's easier to enter. But later on, when we search together, market research together, we oftentimes find a similar product already exists in the Japanese market. So it's really important to differentiate yourself from the Japanese competitor. How do you differentiate yourself? I think it's a combination of not only a combination of the strategy, and it's not only product, but also targeting, product, value chain, business model, and the people support those are all important. For example, regarding targeting, instead of targeting whole Japanese market, you can target a niche market for the product. Instead of providing a total product, you can provide element technology, the value chain. Instead of capturing whole the value chain, you can play under the large corporate business model. Instead of providing a whole product, you can provide a license. Try to avoid the direct competition with the Japanese competitor by mixing your strategy. Okay. And because Taiwanese company is highly successful in OEM business in the past 3 decades, past 4 decades. So some Taiwanese company fail to understand the importance of the post-sales. But in Japanese market, post-sales is as important as pre-sale. So please be ready to invest in the post-sales also. Next, build right local partners. I think because of the difference in the language and business culture and distribution network and understanding of the market, we all agree that it is difficult for foreign company to go into Japanese market without having a Japanese partner. Then, is it good to have a large corporate as a good partner? I think this is a good question. Large corporate oftentimes have a complex decision-making procedure within the organization. And also, they have frequent personal changes. So every April, Japanese accounting year oftentimes start in April. So every April, you will see that the person whom you've talked to for the last 1 year disappear into the other division, and all the discussion have to start over again from the zero. So there's a risk. And for the large corporate, they distribute maybe 50 products, 100 products, not only a product. So for them, of course, they favor the product with a high revenue volume and product with a high margin product. If your product is not, it's really hard to get the salesperson's attention. So I think working with large corporate is sometimes tricky. Rather, probably working with smaller, faster, and innovative company probably is better for you. For example, Cisco and Salesforce are 2 of the most successful company in foreign success company in Japan. Although they also have a large corporate as a partner, but from the beginning, they choose to work with a smaller and nimble company and grow together in the Japanese market. Whereas Taiwanese company where I used to work for, they bet all in on the Japanese large corporate, and their business never pick up. So I think achieving the ideal mix of the large and small partnership is very important in Japan. 4, identify and convince decision maker. So unlike a Taiwanese company where decision maker is relatively clear, in Japan, it is difficult to find who decision maker is. He or she can be a highest ranking executive, or he or she can be eldest person, or he or she can be seconded employee from the parent company. He or he can be capable and motivated young staff, or somebody is English speaker and somebody is Japanese speaker. In my experience, I used to work for a Taiwanese company whose CEO has a really good relation with the CEO of a Japanese company. They knew each other from their 20s, and they play golf together whenever they visit each other, and they dine together. So our company, the CEO, would like to sell their product to the Japanese company by doing a top-to-top sales technique. But it didn't really work. After 5 years, nothing happened. Then I joined the company, and I soon realized that there is an eldest person in the organization who is a key, and there is also a seconded employee from the parent company, and there is also a capable and motivated young staff who never speak English, but who is very good, who is very smart and important person in the organization. So after I understand this, I combine everything and successfully close the deal in just 3 months. So in Japan, it is important to combine, important to have an art of combining a top-down and bottom-up approaches. And in Japan, it is also important to understand the approvable system called Ringi system. In order to push your project forward, you need to get approval from each layer of the organization. You need to get physical chop, literally. So it's really take long and very complex. So in order for you to work with Japanese company, you need to understand who is in the flow of the Ringi system and understand when he or she can sign for you. And it takes long time, especially this system is still used in the large corporate. So if you work with a large corporate, bear in mind. But if you work with smaller company, oftentimes this system is skipped. Somebody in the important part say yes, then you can go forward your project. So that's also one of the reasons why I prefer to work with smaller company. 5, build a successful story in Japan. Those are the Taiwanese well-known brand in Taiwan, but it is very difficult for Japanese to apply them to our own context because we don't know this company. So if you want to use Taiwanese case study, it is important to explain them from the perspective of Japanese client. For example, if you want to use Trendian as your case study, you need to explain that Trendian is the largest retailer in Taiwan, and it is similar to Aeon in Japan, something like that. Or you want to use Zhongfa Dianxin, you can say Zhongfa Dianxin is the largest telecom in Taiwan, and it is similar to NTT in Japan. And case in Japan, actually Japanese customer, many Japanese customers don't want to be your first customer, don't want to be your first penguin. They want to make sure that other Japanese customer is using your product, is happy, then they will start to consider you as a potential vendor. So getting one Japanese case study is more important than collecting 5 Taiwanese cases. So I know it's very tough, but from the beginning, I think you need to get Japanese customers case study at any cost. Regarding case study, it's about telling a story, not about describing a product specification, but about how you identify customers' issue and how you address that. That is more important. So please phrase the story from the perspective of Japanese customers. and especially Japanese customers users. Okay, thank you. And six, build. Now it's a time to build a Japan team. And I often receive a question asking, should we appoint a Taiwanese GM, general manager, or the Japanese general manager? I think it depends on the purpose of the organization. For example, if your purpose of the organization is a communication with Taiwanese headquarters, then choose Taiwanese general manager. If the purpose is product development, then you can choose either Taiwanese or Japanese general manager. If your purpose is a sales to the Japanese market, I think it's better to hire Japanese GM. In most cases, for a foreign company to set up in business in Japan, their purpose is mostly a sales. In this case, I encourage you try to hire Japanese. Of course, if there's no suitable person, then you can hire Taiwanese or your own country, the GM from your own country. But you can all try to find the Japanese GM. Another question is the Japanese employees, local employees language skill. Should we hire Chinese speaking employee or should we hire English speaking employee? Or should we hire trilingual, Japanese, Chinese, and English? I think trilingual is very difficult, so it's a decision between Chinese or English. It's also a matter of the purpose of your team. If the purpose of the employee is a communication with customer, then you can choose either in Chinese speaker or English speaker. If the purpose is a communication with colleague, you can choose English, I think, because more Japanese speak English than they speak Chinese. If the purpose is communication with headquarters, then you can choose Chinese speaker. If the purpose if you think getting the best talent is most important or talent pool is most important, then choose to hire English speaker because the number of English speaker in Japan is much more than the number of Chinese speaker. And if you think about talent replaceability, to remember in a foreign company, employee turnover rate is pretty high, much higher than Japanese company. So the person you hire this year may resign next year. So if you hire Chinese speaking employee, is it easy to hire in the same plot for the another Chinese speaking employee? If you think it is difficult, then go for choose the English speaker. Another question is about the office location. Because recently in Japanese local or rural office, municipal office, very aggressively encourage foreign company to establish their business in their cities. Are they good to set up business these locations? I think it's also depending on the purpose of your office. If your purpose of your office is R&D product development, then you can choose office like Tsukuba, Sendai, or even Okinawa. If your purpose is production, then Nagoya or Kitakyushu or Kumamoto, especially you are around the TSMC ecosystem. And if your purpose is communication with consumer, then choose large city like Tokyo and Osaka. So it's all depending on your purpose of your office. Or do you really need to establish Japanese subsidiary at all? Actually, most of the successful foreign company in Japan, they started Japanese business as using a Japanese local distributor. Then go on forming a joint venture with local Japanese company. Then finally, they acquire share and become a sole ownership. So you need to ask yourself again, is it now a right timing to go on the sole ownership to establish a subsidiary in Japanese market? Okay, frugal operation. I know some Taiwanese startup founder. And he's really good at fundraising. He has good fundraising from VC, and he even won some pitch contest and get a cash award. And I asked him, how did you use that money for? And he said he used that money for upgrading their office. And I think it's pity because frugality is very important for the startup to be successful. Uh, Especially if you can allocate your cash, it's better to allocate the cash to the revenue generating opportunity. So there is a question asking me, should we send expert to Japan? Sending an expert to Japan actually cost. It costs extra costs such as housing, allowance. Probably you may need to double your salary in order to live in Japan, or you may need to commuting expenses, or if you bring kids, education fee cost will also have to be added. So if the condition is the same, if you want to compare the same quality person who is an expert and who is a local hire, if you can find the same one, hire local one because it costs less. But having said, when you hire local, please never skimp on the local hire's compensation. Paying less to the employee, meaning you can end up only hiring the second grade employee. And remember, usually the salary of the foreign company is more expensive than the salary of Japanese company. And the salary of the second tier foreign company is more expensive than the salary of the first tier company if you want to hire the same quality person. So you need to prepare that there is a battle, current war battle between the foreign company, global company, and you need to prepare to pay a fair price when you hire a Japanese employee. 8, brand yourself as a global or the Japanese firm. I was struggle to put this on the slide, but I decided to put it because it's a little bit important. Japanese consumer usually love domestic products, Japanese product. And if they purchase foreign product, they want to purchase from a globally renowned company. So it's really difficult if you are not global company, if you are not global company to go into the Japanese market. So it is also difficult for Taiwanese company to easily to access the Japanese market. So if applicable, please try to brand yourself as a global company or if possible, Japanese company. With this way, it's easier to promote your product to customer or it's easier to attract a good employee. 9, agile management. Is it true that Japanese market is conservative and slow? Everybody says so. And I tend to agree with that. Japan in general is very conservative and very slow. But remember, keep in mind, it doesn't mean that all the Japanese are also slow. And it also doesn't mean all the small and slow and conservative company are winning the market. Even in Japan, the company who win the market is a fast, agile company always win the market. Especially you are a foreign company, you need to move fast, much faster than the Japanese competitor. So speed is a key for you to be successful in the Japanese market. Talking about speed, of course, you need to work very hard. You need to work long hour, but not only that, you can pay attention to the bottleneck in order to shorten your speed. For example, instead of working with conservative partner, you can find an innovative partner. In this way, you can accelerate your speed. Also, instead of hiring hiring a conservative, slow employee, you can find innovative employee. In this way, you can accelerate your speed. By the way, in business, speed and quality and flexibility are somehow a trade-off situation. But in Japanese market, you cannot afford to sacrifice quality for speed. So in Japan, even though speed is important, it doesn't mean you can sacrifice your quality. Speed and quality are all important in Japanese market. Finally, having said, I would like to remind you that don't go all in on Japan. I like Japan, and I know I think Japanese market has a huge potential, but especially if you have a high fixed cost structure, it is just too risky if you bet or go all in on Japanese market, because you may end up burning your cash not only 1 year but also 2 years, 3 years. So it is really important to have the portfolio of the market, not only Japan but also other regions in the world. And I aware some Taiwanese people, founder, have an aspiration of living in Japan and traveling to Japan, or having their kids educated in Japan, or purchasing real estate in Japan as an aspiration. But I think it's very important to separate their personal aspiration from the business decision, because they are two different things. Okay, so in summary, I think now is the best time for a Taiwanese or Asian company to go into Japanese market. This is a questionnaire asking Japanese people which region or country in the world you like the most, and 46% of the people answer it's Taiwan, and 19% answer it's Korea. So Japanese like Taiwan and Korea. And even after we lost the important baseball game against Taiwan and you won the championship, Japanese congratulate Taiwan, and we are happy about the result because we all love Taiwan. And today, I share with you 10 tips to avoid a mistake when doing business in Japan. Let me recap. 1, localization has to be perfect and differentiate from Japanese competitor with strategy mix, and work with right Japanese local partner, and identify and convince Japanese decision maker, build a success story in Japan as soon as possible, and create a Japanese team centered among Japanese people, operate frugally, and brand yourself as a global Japan firm, drive business faster, and don't go all in Japan, create market portfolio. Lastly, I would like to share the story I learned from the entrepreneur I respect. He is a CHU. He's a CEO of Apia. Apia is one of the most successful Taiwanese company in Japan, and their stock is listed in Tokyo Stock Exchange, as you may know. And I had the opportunity to listen to his speech, talking about his secret being successful in the Japanese market. As I learned, he mentioned basically 3 things. 1 is frugality, frugal and humble. So at the beginning, Apia couldn't afford to rent the office in Tokyo, so they use 4 coffee shops every day to work. Why 4 coffee shops? Because each coffee shop only allows you to stay there 2 hours. So they switch 4 coffee shops every day. I think this is such a humble and good story, warming story. And the second is tenacity. Even for Apia, such company as Apia, who has a good technique, it took over 1 year to obtain their first Japanese customer. So they never give up, they work hard and never give up, get a customer response and feedback, and improve customer response and feedback. They did this every day, in order to get their first customer after 1 year. Third is exceed customers' expectation. So once they obtain the first Japanese customer, they did everything to deliver a service that exceeds customers' expectation. Not only meet the expectation, but also they try to exceed customers' expectation. I think this is such a good attitude and mentality to be successful in the Japanese market. Okay, with that, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I, if you have any question, I would like to open up for the question. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Motoki-san. It's really great to see that you have tackled this topic with so many different angles, personnel, the market opportunities. It's really great. And I think it's time for everyone here to raise any questions you may have. And sorry, Motoki-san, can you please stop sharing your screen so then we can see
Yes.
people with their
Yes.
faces? All right. Any questions? And by the way, Motoki-san, we also have Shu-san, so he's also
Yes.
from Sierpa. Yeah.
Ah,
So I think he can definitely relate a lot as well from what you just present.
do you have any comments that you would like to add? Because I have, I live in Taiwan right now, so maybe the situation now is quite different from when I used to live in Japan.
Thank you so much for your presentations and sharing the very good insights into Japanese market. And yeah, I think I totally agree with what you presented. And the Japanese culture, even though like the number of people is actually speaking Japanese, speaking English or like foreign languages, actually increasing to my impression, but still like the especially because the first topic you mentioned the localization importance of localization is definitely important, and we are doing the business on the relationship basically. So building the relationship with the client as well as the partners, that's also important. So yeah, I mean the the things that you have shared hasn't been really changing. So yeah,
Mhm.
thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thanks,
Okay, I
Shu.
have a
Go
question.
ahead.
Okay, in terms of partner selection, um, I mean, Taiwanese and Japanese, we tend to be very polite in some sort of level. But when talking to business, I'm just wondering whether there are any other kind of early signals that indicate a potential Japanese partner would be actually committed to really go for the next step rather than just expressing the polite interest. Because I know Taiwanese will be also polite, but sometimes we go very straightforward sometimes. Is there any kind of way to signal that? Because
I think,
sometimes you feel like it's very polite.
yeah. I think so. Maybe you go for a trade show and you exchange business card with the Japanese corporate, and they are really good to you and feeling that they are interested in your product. But yeah, it's very difficult to proceed from that advanced, business from just knowing each other into the really happening in the world. I think the signal is when he or she start involving other people in the organization. So
Oh,
involving his boss, her boss, or the people from other department. I think that's a signal that they are really interested in.
okay. And what are the no signals, the negative signals that really they're not interested in?
Yeah, that's so Japanese. We are very bad at saying no to you.
Okay.
We are very we need to say yes. I'm interested in product. Uh, uh, if you hear you are interested in your product, probably they are not interested in your product. uh,
Got it.
they're gonna be more detailed when you talk. If you are really interested. More detail about asking about your price or about the strategy, how you work together, I think. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Any more questions? Then can I ask a question?
Mhm.
Because you also mentioned that it's very important to have the first Japanese customer, right? And normally, how would you tackle that? How did you find the very first one that is willing to use your product?
I think you don't have to get a paying customer. You can probably provide with maybe free. You can provide a free sample or something like that. Because it's really difficult to get a first paying customer. So I think for first 1 or 2, you can get your customer at your own cost. Yeah. And how do you find? I think, of course, you can go. You can exhibit in the trade show, or you can ask. You can work with Japanese, like people like me, doing consulting for the individual salesperson. Ask them to get the connection with the Japanese customer. I think that's one way.
Amazing. Thank you. Right. More questions? Actually, who are targeting and entering Japanese market here? I think Brick's already in, right? I think you guys already have some discussions with the Century 21, and I think Kiwi as well, right? You're entering as well.
Yes, I think the Motoki-san share is really a good way to attending the Japanese market, as we right now is partnership with two SI to go into the Japanese market. So I think this is really useful way too. And sometimes I also will have some confused about how to use which language, because right now we only can use English and Chinese, but some Japanese also can use Chinese. So
Really?
so I will think about, so should I use English or Chinese will be good to contact with them. Yeah.
If your customer speaks Chinese, of course you can speak Chinese. But the problem of that is he cannot spread the information within their organization, because only he or she can understand Chinese. Other can understand may understand English. So perhaps writing document. I think it's better to write in English if you want to circulate among your organization. But conversationally, I think you can use either Chinese or Japanese. Japanese or English.
Thank you.
And it's also very interesting to have the takeaway from you, Motoki, that it's still very valid to have a proper interpreter whenever a foreign company is trying to do the business with Japanese, right?
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
very important.
Okay. And Rio, I see you also unmute yourself. More questions?
I formulate the question in my brain. Give me just 1 minute.
All right, take your time. And I'm looking around, and I know Zig is also trying to enter Japanese market, right? Frank, if you're available, do you have any questions that you want to chip in here?
Oh, okay. I can do a question if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Okay. So this question will be a little vague, but me talking about pricing, because I understand pricing has to be formulated in different criterias, but in terms of criterias, what do you recommend? Because I know we in different industry might have different pricing ways to do it, but in overall, do you have any way to feel like that the price in Taiwan, how to translate into no to Japanese market? Is there any way like do you used to do?
Yeah, I think it's good to benchmark with Japanese competitor, and if your product is better than them, you can put your price similar to them or even a little bit higher than them. But if you think your product is a little bit downgraded version, then you can price yourself lower and always benchmark with Japanese competitor. And again, pricing is not only the price in the list in the list price list. You can also price. You can also do pricing depending on how the customer pay. Instead of paying a down payment, you can do the installment or something like that, so that customer get more access to your product.
That's a great idea. Okay. And the same way as talking about price localization, in terms of design, the cultural aspects of the design, I mean, let me say, for example, like, what is the general UX preference in Japanese market that is most acceptable? For example, like Apple kind of design, or like like West Chinese design that has a lot of wordings and explanations. Which way is more like into the spectrum?
I think depending on B2B and B2C, and B2C is like Apple, I believe, yeah, very simple, simple UX. And for the B2B, I think because we are conservative and we like to keep the way we used to work 20 years ago. We want to, even though the technology is advanced, we looking of the UX. We hope that this has to be kept from the history. So for the B2B product, I think the UX is more complicated, let's say complicated and very formative.
Okay. So does it apply also to pitch or presentations design?
In general, a Japanese presentation is wordy, more word, yeah. But it doesn't mean that the company who has more word is winning the competition. So I think depending on your customer, or you can prepare two versions. One is a presentation version, and
Okay.
two is an explanation version.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's like one simple version, other one is more like a more explanation version.
More like explanation. Yeah.
Got
Like
it.
most notable presentation material, most very typical Japanese material is the material made by the government. It's the slide made by government is full of word, full of explanation. You need to read. So some Japanese expect such presentation material, but when
Okay.
you do face-to-face presentation, probably simple one is better because you cannot follow all the word.
Right.
Yeah.
But what if going to, let's say, a big stage pitching, that's the wording versus design pictures?
I think design for the big pitch. Yeah.
Okay.
Similar
Thank
to
you so
Silicon
much.
Valley. Yes.
Okay. That's great. Thank you. This is very helpful.
Mhm.
Yeah, especially some of our startups will be joining Sushi Tech in a couple of months in Japan.
Oh,
Yeah, so I think that's a great tip for everyone who is joining. Make sure that you focus on the design as well, not too wordy, but still bring the message across. And I see
mm,
when the Motoki said the wordy stuff, she was like nodding. It's
mhm.
very cute to see. All right, and then see, Frank is also turning on the camera. Any questions from your end?
Oh, yeah. え、久しぶり、ご担当さん。Zig の長です。And I'm very glad to see you again. And thank you very much for your awesome sharing and suggestion. And I do have a question. And we have been actively look for Japanese companies in Taiwan before. Yeah, and we have met with the Fujitsu and Panasonic Taiwan's office. But it's really difficult to have any follow-ups So now we are
Uh-huh.
looking for the opportunities in Japanese market, and we are currently talking with the Japanese distributors. So my question is, what suggestion do you have about cooperation model with the Japanese distributor, or what situation should we avoid? Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned that you reached to Panasonic Taiwan or Fujitsu Taiwan, something like this. Taiwanese subsidiary of Japanese companies, they don't have power to introduce your product to the Japanese market. They don't have, so I think we can forget about that. Uh, how do you find the best? I think yeah, it's difficult, but as I said, it's important to find the mix in the mix of the large enterprise and the smaller enterprise. So you can not only I think we tend to think that the large corporate bring more revenue, but actually the smaller company will be working hard for you because they don't have luxury to select the product. So it's really good to find a small and very willing partner in Japanese market.
Yeah.
And they are much faster. They move much faster.
Okay, yeah, sure. So so suggestion about the cooperation model with the distributor. Maybe you can give us some suggestion. Yeah.
Yeah. Cooperation model, so like a distribution agreement, right? Distribution agreement, and it's, you can choose. I think you can choose multiple touch point, multiple distributor if possible, instead of doing sole agreement with one distributor. I think you can have a portfolio of the partner. It's good.
Okay. We must.
And I think it's better if you sign agreement with customer. Before that, I think to onboard, if possible, you onboard a Japanese employee or you work with Japanese partner to do that with you.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks,
Very
Frank.
helpful. Yes.
And I see Bang also turn on your camera. Do you have any questions to ask Motoki?
Well, I don't have a question so far, but like for now, we don't have a plan to enter the Japanese market so far. But like after the presentation you provided, I guess Japanese market is quite fascinating. And I know there are some like tech companies like which are really developed in the area that we're interested in. So, I guess like this workshop is recorded, and I just wanted to have a like review over the video again. So, are you planning to like share this video after
Yes,
this meeting?
absolutely. Yeah, so
All right.
all the recordings you can find it in the program website, and
All
also
right.
Motoki-san has kindly to agree to share the slide afterwards. So I will also circulate that with everyone,
All right. Thank you.
of course. All right, then I think time's up, and a really great session today. Frank, make sure that you take care of yourself while driving. No worries, no worries. Okay. All right, then thanks, Motoki, again. A really great session, and I'm looking forward to receive the slide deck, and I will be sharing with everyone. And for rest of the batch startups, please stick around if you have time to join the office hour from now on. It's a quick casual session. But Motoki-san, more than welcome to have you. But if you have any commitment, no worries, they'll have to stay with us.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Motoki-san.
Nice talking with you. Yeah. Bye.
Bye. All right, then let's dive right into office hour. So I think everyone has joined before. So yeah, fire up if you have any questions or updates for the past week. Anything like achievement or anything worth sharing or something personal, that's also absolutely fine. And I know I have a very reliable partner here. I will count on you, Rio. You're always the first one to shoot, so I will still give the floor to you.
Oh, okay. Well, this week, okay. Let me try in Mandarin right now because I get okay.
Okay.
对，因为上个礼拜我们办了那些活动，那因为有些人，我先介绍一下自己，让大家知道，我们是做绿电的，然后我们，呃，对应的是一些中小型的企业跟住宅商办这些，就是把绿电卖给他们。但实际上，我们也因为有这个客户也越群，今年开始越来越多，所以我们会需要更多的绿电。那上个礼拜我们就办了一个针对供应商卖绿电的人，跟他们说我们要跟他买绿电。那来参加的那个potential 的要卖绿电的 customer 其实还蛮多的，所以这个礼拜其实相对比较忙的是要 follow up 去可能接下来去 visit 他们这样，所以我现在在就是做一些整理名单。对，那大致上这个礼拜比较这样，所以有些东西本来应该交给你们的，我还排在有一点后面，不好意思。Sorry,
没有
Jimmy.
关系，
You've been reminding me a lot. Yeah, yeah,
没有问
对
题。
对对对，
然后主要都
那这个。
是台湾的，有兴趣的都是台湾的客户，对吗？
Yes, yes，就是我们是要买绿电的，就是有太阳能的这些，或者是有那些运转的风电的嘛。那我们本来自己的库存是200 megawatts 的一个量，那这个200 megawatts 呢，就是可以足以供应我们现在既有的客户未来的10年的这个绿电。但实际上既有的这些都已经是就是他们占用我们这个200 megawatts 当中的80%以上了。但如果我们要更多的像 boarding 的，现在比如说像全家本来是现在要供应到1000电以上，那可能我们就需要的电更吃紧了，就需要更多这样。对，大致上是这样。那我们这一次的这个客户名单就是企业名单当中有绿电的这些，我们有联络到友达就是蛮大的一间那个电子公司，但是他们有叫做友达光电，他们有自己有那个安厂。再来是台南有几间也蛮有兴趣的，所以我们应该可以把原本的这个量变成2倍多，那就可以就是增加大概有更多的一些客人这样。嗯。
而且你可能想要在年前把这些都 follow up 完，对不对？感觉你
我觉得没
这礼拜在
有办法，
超忙，
对，我现在
真的哦。
就在排啦，对，就在排，
嗯，
但应该是要排到年后了，对啊，而且因为剩下来的时间大概只剩2个礼拜多，蛮多公司他们内部在做年前的收尾，所以他们也不太愿意去见面，对，But yeah, it's good opportunities, yeah,
great to hear。
thank you.
我现在在看 Holly，你看不到，你没有办法发现我在看你，可是我在看你。
OK，我们最近在忙，就是我们刚刚忙完 CES 跟 NRF 嘛，然后在下周就是换 ISE，所以我们就是我不确定上次 paper 有没有分享到，但我们现在 ISE 是跟 IDEA 一起合作做一个会议的 AI coaching。对，那我们现在会用语音转成voice to visual 的方式，就是用语音可以去控制，让 AI coach 可以协助我们去做一些会议的一些视觉化，然后让我们可以更好的去讨论，因为我们有发现到，其实在开会的时候，其实大家讲有时候没有视觉化，大家没有办法站在同一个 stage 上面这样子。对，所以我们现在是在做这样子的一个部分，然后会在 ISE 上面去展，然后一样会用就是达清的透明荧幕去做展示这样子。对，最近比较在忙的是这个。
很有趣，就可以感觉应用的层面就会很广了，对不对？之后，
对对，如果就是可以继续发展的话，因为IDEA 它其实是受 MDEP 就是核准的一个供应商。一个合作伙伴，所以如果这个有确定的话，然后这个反应效果不错的话，感觉可以就是会持续跟 IDEA 有持续的合作这样子。对
，great。而且我听到 Pepper 在后面，感觉很忙。
没错， 没错，他现在在跟另外一个我们的一样是硬体上的合作伙伴去 demo 我们的产品，对，所以可能有点吵。
没事没事没事，OK，感谢感谢。然后我现在看一下，不然你在开车，我就不太好意思，不知道你方不方便讲话。可是 OK 吗？你好像停下来了。
可以，没问题，没问题。
最近有没有什
呃，
么 update，还是有没有什么想要跟我们分享的？
有，我们当然，就是去年的还没结束案子还在弄嘛。那今年我们这2周比较忙的是我们有准备要做那个因为其实我们在去年底到今年初，我们其实开始有陆陆续续接到一些传统产业的需求，因为我先大概说明一下，我们做那个，我们是 IoT 的厂商，对，但是因为我们的平台是一个模组化的套装软体，所以其实我们有在帮一些企业去做不管是就是自动化，或是 IoT AI 的导入啊，或是能源管理这一段，这个是我们这边擅长的一个工作的一个内容。对，那因为也是有鉴于因为台湾其实跟日本也很像啊，就是台湾的船产其实都太老旧，制造业都太老旧，但是他们在去年到今年，他们其实2年有被逼到是那个数位转型，或是要把数据都都都数位化啊，或是ISO 的化、无纸化这件事情，他们是有点是被逼到势在必行。对，所以我们刚好在这边都接到一些传产的一些需求，包含可能大成食品，就是就是那种从养鸡啊到杀鸡到变鸡肉的那个厂商这样。对，然后还有那个泰山食品这样，所以我们最近其实都在忙这几个客户的需求，因为他们都是那种很老的传产，设备都很老旧，然后基本上内部的状况都是他们甚至连工作流程、连表单全部都是输出出来人工去写的、去提的，所以这个部分是他们目前现在台湾厂商所遇到的问题，然后也刚好就是有这个机会，我们刚好也在做这一块的专业，所以正在做。对，然后当然也包含一些。对啊，然后近期也跟公园有一些合作啊，我们在南部的公园这边有在合作南部的会展中心的一些合作啊，主要是忙这些东西。对，然后有比较好的消息就是我们应该会在2月或是3月，我们会过去福冈一趟。对，之前可能不知道是否跟就没分享到，就是我们可能准备在福冈那边做第一场 POC，福冈市政府的 FGN 的 POC 这样。然后，因为我们也刚刚有聊到，我们也有找到一个日本当地的经销商嘛，所以我们其实这样过去也会去跟他商谈后续我们这个怎么在日本上跟他们合作。对，主要的一些新的进展是这样。对，但比较可惜的是，其实我蛮惋惜，Sushi Tech 我们是不是错过了因为我后来在信件才注意到我们没有回那个信件。对，所以
不，还有
对
机会，就是我刚早上有贴给你那个链接
我有看到，
那个是
对
Startup 台湾，对，耶，我建议你透过那个链接赶快去申请，因为我们每一个 ambassador 的推荐名额有限的，但是 Sushi Tech 那边呢，他们是透过台湾馆，然后他们也有自己的管道，那我们还有 SIT 那边也有协作，就是我们可以推荐团队过去，那你通过他们申请之后。你申请完了跟我讲一下，我帮你跟我们的 SIT 的窗口稍微沟通。那按照我们之前的经验，我觉得不会有太大问题。对。那你可以特别在申请里面，它的申请表单其实也是蛮制式的，你点进去你就会看到。那我会稍微建议强调一下，就是你们现在目前在日本的这个发展，让他们了解说，哎，你们是这样子的一个状况，对。那只是说展览的部分的话，你们就会跟着他们的台湾 Pavilion 进去，一起去做参展。那实际在SIT 本身应该还会有一些其他的周边活动，那这个部分我们到时候也会跟所有一起参与 Sushi Talk 的这个新创做分享，这样，然后大家就可以一起参加。
了解，是我后面会再跟进这件事情，对。就蛮可惜的没有办法在 Plug and Play 的那个部上面去产出。
应该说我们这个，因为我们是大使嘛，只是我们不是我们自己的，跟 Innovex 不一样，我们不是我们自己的这个 Pavilion，就是我们不是自己的一栋楼这样，就我们推荐过去， 然后推荐过去的厂商呢，会按照产业类型，经由SushiTech 的主办单位去做安排，帮你们安排摊位。那跟 SIT 这边的方式就会比较不一样。对，但是我觉得重点是，只要你们有参展的机会，然后能够到那边，我觉得都是好的。对，
好，没问题。我会再尽快填了，对，到时候
没问题，
也再麻烦 Jeremy，感谢。
不会，
对
，OK。
对，OK，那就大概进度是这样，对不对？下一位，
我有点好奇，因为刚刚你
是
讲到说最近有很多一波的传产
是
在面临数位转型的压力，那这个压力是从哪里来？是他们自己内部有这个需求，还是说有外部像政府有给
外
他们什么
部的需求。
压力之类的吗？
其实会分两个面向。第一个面向是有一些专门做海外市场的，对，因为做海外市场其实是被逼得最死的，就是那种做欧美的、做欧洲的，像因为我们自己有个客户，他是迪卡侬的代工厂嘛，所以他被逼得最紧，逼到就是我们已经协助他们就是大陆、台湾、越南的厂全部都数位化了，所以类似这样的一个状况是海外的客户逼的。那台湾目前是处于就是台湾国内台湾的自己的一些政府有在逼啊，因为其实有相关的法人单位时不时会过去跟他们做个拜访之类的，对。然后另外就是他们自己其实也有意识到说他们的其实本质上是台湾的电，就是台湾的那个碳排很高，他们面临到的是台湾的碳排很高，那他们的他们一定要去降那个东西，不然就是会一直过来去问啊，过来去关注他们，所以他们想要做这件事情，所以对，就是因为这个原因啊，对。但是这些老
了解。
旧厂其实比较辛苦的是，因为因为像大家都听过像大成、泰山什么这些什么白恩斯基金，其实他们都是很老的厂，他们的制程、他们的设备其实很老旧，他们那东西其实那些制程都已经长年以来都是那个样子了。那你突然要他们说的话，其实对他们来说是一个很大的一个改变。对，那所以他们能拖就拖嘛，拖到现在其实算是已经对到我感受到他们这2年今年还蛮积极的，是感受到他们确实是有被逼到不行了，是有需要继续去做一些改变的。对，但是就困难在他们的设备都太老旧了，困难在他们设备太老旧了，他们跟那些新的设备是不一样，所以他们很多东西是无法通讯的。那这就是很多台湾大部分厂的一些现况问题，我们就是想要解决这些东西，这样。
这感觉 Rio 也是很有共鸣，对不对？
对啊。
哦，你讲迪卡侬我很有共鸣啦，但是我可以参与讨论吗？我可以问一下吗？纯好奇。就你刚刚讲那个禽流感的那个机场，所以你
大成
是说你现在是跑去那一间吗？还是你像那一间的例子，你的是可以帮忙解决？
你的意思是什么？
你说那个台中的那个就是鸡的那个
大成是
哦，所以你是要帮他解决，还是
帮他解决
你说那种例子你是可以帮忙解决？
没有，他们那边是我要帮他们我要帮他们解决这件事情，就是刚好今年才在做这件事情而已，今年初
哦，
现在还在做很多的规划，刚开始而已。
了解，cool。所以那些鸡，你们该不会是去追踪鸡的健康还是怎么样吗？
没有，不是，我们是怎样？我们做的是能源的管理跟设备的管理。我们
对，
做的，因为你讲那个应该是另外一家新创，因为我知道 AM 有另外一家新创是专门在做畜牧业 AI 相关的。我们做的是他们设备，因为我们着重的是那应该说客户他们着重的是他们设备的耗电量过高、老旧，然后他们的数据其实是都无法整理的，因为他们的数据都是留在现场机台的。当然
啊，
而且它是每一个设备的系统都是不一样的，等于说它其实要把它汇整在一起去做一些，不管是做碳盘的整理啊，公司运算啊，或是他要做一些减碳的方案啊，或是他想要找一些，因为这些老旧机其实太多问题了，那他如果要去找到问题点、热点的时候，其实是没那么快，没那么及时。对，所以我就是在解决这些东西这样。我们
哦
没有做到什么生物监控那一块，不是？对，
，OK，所以就等于几乎是让所有的设备或是整个场域的各个点能够转化为数据，然后收集
对，
起来，那你帮他做汇整，做一个报告的，了解，
类似，
还
对对对，
蛮不错的。确实，台湾重要的企业非常多，工厂很多。
对，好像日本现在的痛点都在这里，就是船产太多了，然后要想说的话说不了。对，是的。
我
OK，
好奇你们有跟桃园市政府聊过吗？所以你们 Frank，你们有跟桃园市政府有合作？
哪个市场？
桃园市政府。
哦，其实桃园市政府，我们最近我还没过去聊过，但是因为他们的那个政务官最近有在约，所以我可能近期会找时间过去一趟。因为桃园市部好
OK，
像
好，
有一个什么什么智慧什么什么办公室，诶，那叫什么？你们是在问这个吗？就他们有一个智慧
类似啊，
什么什么的，嗯，
因为你刚刚讲的这些使用前金的案例，我觉得，因为我们最近跟桃园市政府有一个小支线的东西，就是跟中小企业相关，当地中小企业相关啦。那
哦，是
我总觉得有一些潜在的这个客户需求，可能可以转接到你们那一块。那我们这边目前还在初期的接洽。那
是，
如果真的有发现一些适合的应用场景的话，我们再帮你做联系。然后，但是同时，我觉得也可以帮你转介到桃园市政府的这个政务官那边，直接在政务官
好啊，
他们就是委员那边先做一个 pitch，因为 pitch 过之后，他们可以直接帮你连接，就算是像是中小企业会啦、桃园市的工业会啦等等这些的中小企业触及的这个管道，我觉得
好的，当然了，
都会有一些帮助，对不对？嗯
好，当然了，这样更好。
嗯，
我刚查了一下，那个他是说什么什么智慧产业学院，这个你们在那边是对到这边吗？
我
智慧
们类似啊，就是我们有这个部分窗口，但是我们主要对的比较是市政府里面就是
啊，是
比较决策的局处，然后他们会再分发下去，说交给哪一
了解，
个局处特别的这个产业关系去帮你们做决策的。
好啊，了解，嗯，
感谢分享。那最
谢谢。
后，Share 你在吗？最近 f
在
l u Iconic 有没有什么新的进展可以跟我们分享的？
好啊，好，我们公司主要是做肿瘤新药开发的一个筛检平台，也就是在临床前，就是最后一里路啊。那我们可以协助，就是让，因为在新药开发的要进入临床之后，临床前都会用使用实验动物嘛。那我们就是培养肿瘤癌细胞，专注培养肿瘤癌细胞内部微环境的状态，包括血管新生。呃氧气缺氧的程度以及纤维化的状态。好，那这就是有别于跟其他做器官细胞晶片不一样的地方。那我们其实今年1月1号正式从清大的新创开始衍生出来，我们就 spin off，正式用公司的方式在营运的。好，所以我们其实今天正在做那个前面的加创计划的这个查账。好，那接下来我们就是要做完结，所以最近在忙这件事情。第二件事情是我们也还是需要开始做呃 seed 之后的募资，所以我们现在在研究国发的天使基金。那今天我另外一个朋友给我推荐，我想顺便问各位有没有听过什么绿色通道、绿色通道之类的？因为我今天早上稍微上网查了一下，有点模糊，所以等一下这个结束之后，我要继续再去做理性招。线上的伙伴们知道的话，可以再投相关资料给我。那我们也有股东给我们推荐可以做无形资产的建价，所以正在做这件事。那也很开心的跟各位分享，我们今年正式用公司的方式营运，我们也开始有小小的订单了，所以真的很小很小，但也真的很开心啦。那就跟大家分享。还有最后一个问题是，Julie，因为下礼拜我们约了要跟我们的 mentor 做一个 meeting，Alice。那通常在这样过程中间，我们是有多长的时间？然后我们需要准备什么题目？或是大家有没有已经跟 mentor 有 meeting 过了？有没有什么经验分享的？
非常好的问题，Share。我觉得只要你有想到要准备问题，就已经非常好了，因为我们很难得有机会可以约到 mentor，所以我们通常都会约半个小时的时间，所以这个半个小时就是 intro 之后，希望大家都可以准备你想要问这个 mentor 的问题，这样才能够最大化，你有这个半个小时跟 mentor 相处的时间，因为没有办法保证他接下来还会愿意再跟你有第二次、第三次，或是 very consistent 的会议，所以你
哦，
有可能就只有这一次的机会，因
就人
为这完全
生这一次，OK，好，
对，因为我觉得像这种 matchmaking 就是很有机的，如果
嗯，
双方都觉得谈得很来，然后其实有兴趣的领域也都相同， 那之后当然有可能发展成比较长期的 mentorship，不过这个我们就没有办法挂保证，这个就单纯就完全就是取决于你们这一场 intro，你们谈的开不开心，有没有共同点，对。
了解，
然后
好懂。
如果你回去看我那时候分享的那个 mentor list，它里面其实都会有 mentor 的简介之外，也有他的 LinkedIn，所以你可以再回去，对，再回去准备一下，然后有哪一些可能就3到5个问题可以问他的。
好，谢谢你。我正想问你说，那我准备几个题目。其实我今天有稍微列了一下，然后想说，哦，要问的好像有点多，因为进入美国市场对我们来讲很陌生，也有点害怕，然后一切刚开始，所以到底我会再收敛一下，谢谢你。
其实也没关系，你可以很直白的就跟
就
导师
直接问，
说，
看
对，就是
他怎么回答。
我不知道怎么切入，然后可是你的想法是什么，然
OK，
后他可以再跟你有进一步的建议。
谢谢。
类似。然后刚刚你讲到的绿色通道，有没有人有经验的，或是有更多讯息的？
看起来好像没有，没关系。
嗯
那只要我有了之后，大家想问，我再 share 给大家好了。
麻烦你了。
好，不会，没问题。表示大家都还很 OK。
是没有拿到
OK，
钱，
表示你的订单你已经可以自主营运了。你看，我们现在还需要赶快再
没有
去
啦，
挖一些那个第一
努力。
桶金。
那我可以 follow up 问一下，我看到我们的接下来的 schedule 是有很多的 pitch polishing，对，那
嗯哼，
第一个就是有排了几间公司在哪几天要几点叫 就是 pitch 嘛，对，
对。
那第一个就是我漏掉还是没看到我自己的名字？
因为我们这一批有一些专门针对日本市场的，我现在还在找呃比较更适合的导师，就是做 pitch
哦
polishing 的，就是像刚刚我们讲到像 Motoki 建议的，Motoki 他们就是日本投资人的出发点可能会跟其他的产业或者其他的国家的出发点会有点不一样，所以我们就想要找更适合的，就可能是我们日本方那边同事也好啊，或者说日本那边有的 mentor 也好。可是需要久一点点的时间，我会再赶紧安排，所以
OK，
再给我一点时间。
哦，没有，对，我觉得蛮好的，对，确实啦，我刚刚就是有问一下说这个摩托上就是如果要设计 pitch 的 deck 的
嗯
话，我知道那个风格上很不一样，不是像台湾的或者是美国的风格这样，
嗯哼，
对，所以我觉
对，
得如果你找到适当的人可以帮我们去做这个 polish，蛮好的。
嗯，所以应该还有4间新创，就包括你，然后还有另外3间也是以日本为主要市场的新创，我会再继续安排。然后其他人的应该都已经安排好了，就是包括2月、3月、4月的1个月一次。然后我觉得这也是个好机会，可以跟大家分享一下，就是如果你现在有准备要募资的话，当然就很直接嘛，你就是用你募资的那个 pitch 去去修正。而如果你现阶段没有准备要募资的话，如果你的现阶段的重点是在可能跟合作厂商要媒合之类的，要配合，那你也可以直接很坦白的跟那个 mentor 说你现在这个 deck 的用处是什么，不一定只限于pitch，你其他
OK，
的任何的场合你会用到这个 deck 的场合，你都可以直接跟导师说，那他当然就可以针对不一样的情境去给你不一样的建议。
that makes sense。
嗯
OK，Thank you。
，of course，还有没有什么其他问题呢？看起来好像没有了。那我再迅速的看一下我们下礼拜的行程，等我一下哦。下礼拜一样，礼拜五有一个office hour，不过在那个之前，礼拜二跟礼拜三应该已经有8组新创会有第一轮的 pitch polishing。那在那个之外，礼拜三的晚上11点到12点有一个我们总部的 workshop，是专门针对人形机器人的 session。对，如果你们有兴趣，或者说你觉得你之后你的application 有可能可以跟humanoid robotics 有合作，有任何可以就是合作的有这个方向的话，也可以建议去看一下。然后当然这种也会有 recordings，可是这个 recordings 我就不会放在我们自己的 program site，因为那个不是我们主办的，所以那个会有其他的headquarter 去整合。对，所以有兴趣的话都可以参加。OK，还没有人要补充什么？Jeremy，你要 thumbs up，你也不用 unmute 吧？可以，好，OK，好了，那就 Happy Weekend，有问题随时敲我们哦。